Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the weekly briefing brought to you by the Emergency Leadership Team. I'm Ruth Jackson, and I'm joined today by my colleagues on the Executive Policy Group, Dean Joshua Busby, and Vice President Teresa Powell. So as we always do, we'll begin with an overview of our COVID-19 status. We'll provide a review of our campus operational postures. We'll talk about vaccination resources and upcoming opportunities. We'll share important dates in our campus community and close with the discussion. So I'll ask Dean Busby if he'll provide our COVID-19 current numbers. Dean?
Good afternoon. Thanks, Dr. Jackson. And so we want to provide you with the updated numbers around the state, the county, and campus as of noon today, September 20th. Our Oklahoma total cases are just under 600,000. We have just under 19,000 active cases, and our death total has risen to just under 9,900. In Logan County, we have just over 5,500 total cases. In Logan County, our active cases sit at 369, and our deaths in Logan County is at 77. We're proud to report, as you can see there, the Langston University total cases, of course, has increased since the last webinar that we've hosted. Total cases on all 4 of our campuses is 176, and our current total active cases on campus, on all of our campuses, sits at 3 as of today. And again, we also want to note that, again, the total number marks all of the cases on all of our campuses since the university reopened in July of 2021. And with that, I will pass it on to Dr. Jackson, who will talk more about our campus levels and our current operational posture.
Thank you, Dean. So based on where we have been, our information, as Dean Busby shared, is updated regularly, but we remain in our level 2 campus designation for our operational posture. What that means is we're still within our hybrid instruction model with courses rotating. We continue to encourage our events on campus to include our enhanced protocols and safeguards, and whenever possible, use remote means or teleconferencing software such as Zoom or Teams to hold meetings. And we continue to have our regular research activities, but also with enhanced protocols. So what that looks like on campus is we continue to expect masks and face coverings when students and employees, when anyone on our campus is indoors, and this extends to all of our campus locations. We continue to encourage social distancing. Most importantly, from my view, is our continuation of our COVID-19 vaccination opportunities and the continued testing that we offer on campus. As I mentioned, we encourage our students and staff and faculty to continue to have virtual meetings with a limited number of in-person gatherings indoors. And whenever possible, we ask that the activities that are being planned are planned for outdoors when gatherings are a part of it. So with that, I will invite Dean Busby back to talk about our upcoming homecoming event. Dean?
Thanks again. We're very excited to host Homecoming 2021, October, actually want to kick it off, October 9th through October 16th. And of course, Homecoming 2021 will be a little different than homecomings in the past. It'll definitely be different from Homecoming 2020 because that entire experience was a virtual experience, but we had a great feedback from our students as well as our alumni and friends. This year, we are bringing back some of our, or many, actually the majority of our in-person events. One being our hallmark of the week is our President's Scholarship Gala that we will be hosting. There are protocols in place as masks are expected indoors, and we are following the health and safety guidelines as provided by the venue, which is the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum that they have in place to definitely make sure that we mitigate any risk associated with COVID-19 on Friday, October 15th. But of course, our week of events, we have a draft schedule of that on our website now, and you can go out and view that now at www.langston.edu/homecoming, where you can see all of the events that we have planned. The majority of our events are outdoor events and outdoor activities. Unfortunately, this year we have the homecoming committee has decided to cancel our parade as we just couldn't really come to a strong consensus on ensuring the safety of all who attend, more especially the younger population that really participates heavily in the parade, and for the safety of the community and all that's on campus that day. We are canceling the parade this year. Of course, we're going to be looking to review that recommendation for 2022. But for this year, there will be no homecoming parade. And of course, all throughout the week and definitely on Saturday, October 16th, we will definitely be encouraging social distancing whenever and wherever you can on campus. Of course, we'll still have our Roar Walk on Saturday. That's going to be at noon. And of course, at 2 p.m., our mighty Langston Lions will kick off against Texas Wesleyan on the gridiron. And so again, for more information on Homecoming 2021, you can go to www.langston.edu/homecoming to receive more information. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Vice President Powell to talk about our COVID-19 vaccination opportunities and other information that's very pertinent as it relates to breakthrough cases. VP Powell.
Thank you, Dean Busby, and good afternoon, everyone. We wanted to provide you again with information on upcoming dates for vaccination opportunities as well as testing for the university community. And those of you who have visited us, we're very proud of the vaccination rate. As of now, we have been able to successfully vaccinate 98 individuals, give 98 shots, as it were, on the Langston campus. So that's a really great number. We're looking to tip that over the 100 mark this week. So wanted to share the upcoming dates so that you have those marked down and are looking for the email where you can make your appointment. As a reminder, we have shared this information via email multiple times, but you make one appointment, and our protocol for providing vaccinations in the on the Langston campus is that we test first. So any individual who comes to us and wants to receive a vaccination, of course, we can accommodate them. But the first step is to receive a negative test result. The reason being is that it's dangerous to give someone who's positive for COVID-19 the vaccination dose. So we want to ensure and just have that extra step of prevention there, that we know that everyone who is coming to get a vaccine shot is in fact negative for the disease. So that's been a very successful protocol. It's actually something that we started just on a whim, but it is being adopted now by our partner Total Wellness at all of their vaccine locations. So we appreciate being the trailblazers there. And again, it's been a very successful strategy for us. So as you'll see on the PowerPoint screen, we have an appointment opportunity this week on Wednesday. Next week, we'll actually be shifting to accommodate the Fall Career Fair, and you'll hear more about that later in today's webinar. That will be held on Wednesday, the 29th. So we are shifting our vaccine and testing date to the following day. So it will be Thursday, September 30th. We'll come back to Wednesday the following week on October 6th. And we'll round out the homecoming week on Wednesday, October 13th. So those are the dates that we have thus far. Of course, we'll continue this throughout the semester, but wanted to bring these next 4 weeks of dates to you so that you could have these in your calendar. If you are a person who needs a vaccine dose earlier than one of these dates, or if you don't want to come to the Langston campus or can't for whatever reason, we encourage you to find a vaccination administration site near you. You can do that at vaccinate.ok.gov. So you can find one nearby. They're generally free. All vaccines are subsidized by the state of Oklahoma and by the federal government. So you should be able to find one nearby. As we are performing these vaccinations and as we are performing the testing, we sometimes get questions about breakthrough cases. So I wanted to address that and provide a little bit more information today during our webinar. The vast majority of the positive cases that we're seeing as we're doing testing for the university community, the vast majority are unvaccinated individuals. So individuals who are not vaccinated or not fully vaccinated, maybe they have the first dose, but not the second of either the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccine. They're not considered fully vaccinated yet. And we're seeing the vast majority of our positive cases within that population, unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. A breakthrough case, as you'll likely know from all of the media talk and information from the CDC, a breakthrough case occurs when a fully vaccinated person becomes infected with the coronavirus. And we've had to do some education and some explanation to everyone who is coming through and just asking questions, or if they happen to have a breakthrough case, how could this happen? I'm fully vaccinated. But it's important to remember that a vaccine is not a cure. And the way that the vaccine works is to lessen the disease. So it lessens the impact of the disease. And we're seeing that those who generally come to us and have a breakthrough infection, they're far less sick than they might be otherwise. Or they're completely asymptomatic. They may not have symptoms at all, that's a good thing for them. We know then that they do have a breakthrough case, but for them not to have symptoms, that means that the vaccine is working and protecting them from experiencing those symptoms. So we are having those conversations as they come up. Again, not often, but we did want to spend some time and just share a little bit more about breakthrough cases, especially in the state of Oklahoma. So we have some graphics to share with you today. These are all sourced from the Oklahoma State Department of Health, but we're going to show you the breakthrough case statistics by vaccine manufacturer. So the first one up here is Johnson & Johnson. You'll see the graphic here is a good representation of just how effective the vaccine is. It's really remarkable. You'll see with all three of the manufacturers just how effective these vaccines are. So you'll see with the Johnson & Johnson, there's been 115,900 Oklahomans fully vaccinated with that particular vaccine, and only 819 breakthrough infections. So that is fully vaccinated individuals. Remember, Johnson & Johnson is one shot. So you get one shot and you're fully vaccinated with Johnson & Johnson. So 819 breakthrough cases as of September of 2021. So approximately 7% breakthrough case rate for that vaccine. Next, we have Moderna, which is the vaccine that we offer on campus through our partner Total Wellness. So you'll see that 734,012 Oklahomans are fully vaccinated with Moderna. And of that number, 2,688 breakthrough cases have been confirmed by the state health department. So approximately 3.6% positivity rate with the breakthrough cases. So again, really remarkable when you think about how many individuals that represents, and the breakthrough case percentage remains very, very low. And finally, Pfizer. That number on the screen is actually incorrect, and that's my fault. There have not been that many Pfizer vaccines given. That is the total number. So the number of Pfizer vaccines is actually 951,332 within the state of Oklahoma, and we have had 4 1,791 breakthrough cases. So that is the 5% metric that you see there. So again, 951,332 fully vaccinated persons with Pfizer. And of that, about 5% we're seeing with a breakthrough infection of COVID-19. So again, by and large, the vaccines are very effective at keeping everyone from getting the infection, or if they are infected with the virus, again, their symptoms tend to be much lessened by the vaccine, or they're asymptomatic. So just some more fast facts for you here. This was shared with us by our colleagues at the Oklahoma State University Health Services Department, and it was also sourced from the Oklahoma State Health Department. So just really, this particular graph really caught our attention when we had our weekly calls with as a system, as the Oklahoma A&M system, and we discussed this particular graph and wanted to share it with our community as well, and just really expound upon the reason why we want to make the vaccines available to our university community. And when you look at these numbers and specifically the age groups, and see just the difference in what we're seeing for hospitalization. So this is hospitalizations as of today within the last 30 days within the state of Oklahoma. So we're seeing a very significant difference between those who are non-vaccinated versus those who are fully vaccinated. And of course, we know that the state of Oklahoma has made it publicly known that ICU beds are not available, or there are very few available on a week-to-week basis for those who are looking for a space within the ICU because of these cases. So again, the vaccine really is doing its job there and showing its effective rate through keeping everyone who is vaccinated with lower symptomatic, they are not as symptomatic, or they are asymptomatic. It's keeping them from being quite as sick. So just wanted to share this graph because it was something that was of discussion within the system this week, but something that really caught our attention and we thought would be a good thing to share with our university community. So now I'm going to ask Dr. Jackson to share more about upcoming dates and important events.
Thank you, VP Powell. Before I jump into the important dates, I just want to, again, remind our campus community of some resources that we have available. So we have recordings of our weekly webinars from last semester, from the beginning of the pandemic. Last semester, we did host 2 physicians, and you can find those recordings on our university YouTube page. And again, I guess more recently, about 2 weeks ago, there was a webinar sponsored by the School of Arts and Sciences and the Langston University Marching Pride, facilitated by Dean Peterson. So it was an opportunity to ask questions and provide factual information about vaccinations. And if you have not seen either or both of those webinars, again, I encourage you to visit our university's YouTube page where you can actually watch those and get some reliable information for yourself about vaccinations and myths and facts. So with the important dates coming up, our next vaccination opportunity, as Dean Busby shared, will be on the 22nd. That's Wednesday. So we encourage you to come and test, and a negative test will allow you to be vaccinated. From our academic calendar on September 24th, we have it's the last day to drop with a W from classes that are offered in the first 8-week session. I'm excited about our fall career fair, which will take place next Wednesday, September 29th. The career fair is scheduled to be held in person, but also there are some companies that will join us virtually from 10 to 3 in the multi. I just want to pause and encourage our students to plan to participate in the career fair, as well as the events that are planned from the Division of Career and Professional Development. There are a number of activities planned for this week, including a resume workshop, some networking tips and tricks. And so look for emails from Mrs. Thompson in preparation for next Wednesday's Fall Career Fair. On September 30th, we'll have another vaccination opportunity in our multi, as well as another on October 6th. Returning to the academic calendar on October 8th, that's when our first 8-week session ends. So final exams will occur during that time for 8-week session courses. Everyone is excited about our homecoming week. That week of events kicks off on October 10th and runs through the 16th. On October 11th, our second 8-week session begins. So students, make sure you check your schedules to see if you are enrolled in second 8-week courses. If so, add this date to your calendar as a reminder. Midterm and final exam grades will be submitted no later than October 13th. And also on October 13th, we'll have yet another opportunity for vaccinations here on campus. So with that, we'll pause and allow time for any questions that you may have. Feel free to drop those questions either in the chat or use the Q&A function for any questions that you may have.
Dr. Jackson, if I can, just while some may be typing, I do want to acknowledge our Student Government Association Activities Coordinator and Chair of the SAB, Ms. Jasmine Guy, who her and her team have been working throughout the semester to plan dynamic and innovative events for our students in a safe way. And so definitely want to shout her out and thank her for her service. Also, what I didn't mention earlier, I failed to mention, I apologize, is that there will be actually a month of activities. Student Activities Board is working on the road to homecoming. And so they're going to have a series of events to close out September and then all throughout the month of October as well. And so they're not looking just to host events during the week of homecoming. They're going to be spreading out some of those larger events as we continue to plan on how we can work to mitigate any and all risk as well. And so I did want to definitely acknowledge Ms. Guy and her team and thank them for their service, as well as our Student Government Association as well.
Absolutely. Dean Busby, there is a question. Will there be tailgating this year for homecoming?
Yes, so thank you for that. So yes, there will be tailgating in the parking lot outside, of course, this year. We will also be hosting the marketplace, which will be outside on the tennis courts as well. We have several vendors who have paid and still some that are paying and registering as well. We had a few to come in over the weekend. And so, a lot of those larger scale events that we'll have outside, we'll host those. And so tailgating will be hosted, of course, encouraging all of them to maintain as much social distancing as they can. But of course, that will be, up to those individuals who have patronized and paid for those spots. But we'll be having some team members to kind of go through the parking lots and to help encourage, great behaviors and safe behaviors throughout the day. So yes, tailgating will take place this year.
Thank you, Dean. Related to that, traditionally, there have been a number of organizations and departments and schools that welcome alum back during homecoming week. That's an event, that's the time when everyone looks forward to reconnecting and supporting dear Langston. As these events are being planned, however, we ask that these events are held outside rather than in places that have hosted these events in the past. So whenever possible, if these events continue that are specific to a department and organization, we ask that this year they're planned for outside rather than the traditional indoor venues. I don't see any other questions in the chat or in our Q&A. So we'll move forward with this week's Reflecting on Resilience, and I'll ask Dean Busby if he will share this week's selection. Dean?
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. And so I'm happy to report and reflect as we reflect on resilience, as we always do with our webinars, is that we want to highlight the Langston University football team and to publicly acknowledge Coach Morgan and our Lions, as they are currently undefeated in Sooner Athletic Conference play. They've played 3 games, 2 on the road. The first game, they won 10-7 up in Panhandle. Oklahoma Panhandle State University beat them in the defensive affair there. The second game, they beat up on Texas College here at home. And just this past weekend, they beat Wayland Baptist over in Plainview, Texas, 50-0. We do want to welcome and encourage and invite everyone out this Saturday as the Lions take on Arkansas Baptist College in an evening game at 6 p.m. under the lights at W.E. Anderson Stadium. Information will go out on how you can obtain your tickets. And so we would ask that you would support our Lions football team. So once again, want to acknowledge Coach Morgan and his team, his staff, and also our student athletes, as they are also playing at a very high level, but also doing it very safely as well. And so we want to thank them for everything that they're doing. Also, of course, thank A.D. Rogers and the administrative team and the Department of Athletics for all that they do to support their student athletes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. And so with that, we ask that you continue to monitor your email for the next scheduled webinar brought to you by the Emergency Leadership Team. And as always, we ask you to remember to take care, Lions. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you.